very big program. We have very big program to make Buddhist learning accessible to the students from different part of the world. And so now Buddhist Sanskrit has been taken into consideration, and then one course is going to be launched very soon on Buddhist psychology. Very soon, maybe tomorrow, posters will be released. The Buddhist psychology in Pali literature, many students from different parts of the world are expected to join the course. It will be for 1 week, and then similarly many courses will be launched with the help of Dr. Bipin Kumar Jha. Friends, now we have to discuss Sadharma Pundarik Sutra. Actually, Sadharma Pundarik Sutra is the most important text of Mahayana Buddhism, and Sadharma Pundarik Sutra has changed the concept of Buddhism, which was established by the Theravada scholars, because you know the different sects in Buddhism are the development of Buddhist philosophy. How this is development of Buddhist philosophy? One sect is directly, indirectly connected with the another sect. This is very important. Try to understand one thing, that always keep in your mind that one sect is further development of the another one. Suppose I am quoting some verses from Pali literature, and then the same has been given in Sanskrit literature also. Like in Dignikaya, the Buddha says, So dhammang deseti Adi kalyanang, madhye kalyanang, pariyosan kalyanang, sathang sabhyanjanang keval paripunnang parisuddhang brahmacharyang pakaseti. There is always discussion of Adi Kalyan, the well-being in the beginning, the well-being in the middle, and the well-being at the end. The same concept has been repeated. See how Buddhist philosophy furthers itself. It travels from one sect to another for lucid explanation and for deeper explanation. In Sadharma Pundarik, you just keep in your mind how philosophy develops. Again, I am repeating. So dhammang deseti adi kalyanang, madhye kalyanang, pariyosan kalyanang, sattang sabhyanjanang, keval paripurnang, parisuddhang, brahmacharyang pakaseti. In Sadharma Pundarik, in Sanskrit, Buddhist Sanskrit text, Sadharma Pundarik text is nucleus of Mahayana Buddhism. They have incorporated the same idea from Pali literature, that is, Sadharmang deshayati asma adi kalyanang madhye kalyanang paryavasane kalyanang sartha subhyanjanang kevalang paripurnang paryavdatang brahmacharya samprakashayati asma. The same thing which was given in Dignikaya, they are just carrying the same idea for the well-being, for the kalyana. Again, I am giving you another example, that is, in Vinay Pitak, during the time of Dhammacakkapavatana, Buddha invites monks for wayfaring, for wandering, for movement in the society, for well-being of the complete world, well-being of the whole world, each and every sentient being of the world. In Vinay Pitak, Mahabhag, it is said that Bahujan hitaya, Bahujan sukhaye, lokanukampaye, atthaya hitaya sukhaye dev manushyanam. See, the complete verse is Charath Vikhave Charikang, Bahujan hitaya, Bahujan sukhaye, lokanukampaye, atthaya hitaya sukhaye dev manushyanam. O monks, just wander, just keep you moving for the well-being of the many, for the well-being of the mass, for the happiness of the mass. So, this was the key idea of Buddhism. In Sadharma Pundarik Sutra, the same idea has been incorporated, the same idea has been carried on. That is, Bahujan Hitaya, Bahujan Sukhaye, Lokanukampaye, Mahato Janakasyaye, Hitaya Sukhaye, Devanang Manusyanang Cha. So, this is also the glaring example that one idea, one sect of Buddhism, how one sect of Buddhism carry forward the message of the previous sect. If we will take opportunity, then we can discuss how. The sects like Madhyamik Darshan. Madhyamik Darshan is very important philosophy, but its seed, its foundation lies in Pali literature, Theravada Buddhism. Buddha explains many times in Pali literature, na sahi sahi, na sahi sahi, maya vasyaya budbudang. The whole world is a type of flux. So, all ideas have roots in historically previous sects. Like Another example I am giving you. In Dignikaya, there is very famous statement of the Buddha. Vidyacharan sampanno sugato lok vidu anuttaro puris dhamma sarthi sattha dev manusyanang bhagavati. In Sadharma Pundarik Sutra, Vidyacharan Sampannah Sugato Loka Vidu Nuttarah Purusha Dhamya Sarthi Shasta Devanang Cha Manushyanang Cha Buddho Bhagavan. The same thing has been given in Dignikaya and the same idea in Sadharma Pundarik Sutra also. The question is, in previous verse, there is two terms, Vidya Charan Sampanno, Vidya and Acharan. What is Vidya? Vidya is knowledge. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of Four Noble Truth. Knowledge of dependent origination, knowledge of three characteristics of the world, knowledge of sunyata, everything. It's a part of Vidya. In Pali literature, it is said, what is the characteristics of Vidya? Knowledge. Dhamm sabhav pativedhan lakhanang Vidya. And its antonym is avidya. What is avidya? Dhamm sabhav patichhadan lakhanang avidya. The covering up the nature of real Dhamma. And in Vidya, the context of Vidya, the removing the cover of ignorance from the real nature of the Dharma. So, here Sadharma Pundarik also repeats, Vidya Charan Sampanno, and Acharan, those who follows moral precepts. So, Vidya and Acharan. Vidya and Acharan Sampanno Sugato Lok Vidu Anuttar Purush Dhamma Sharthi. So the very basic idea from Theravada Buddhism, from Pali literature, has been carried forwarded by the Buddha or by the scholars in Sanskrit Buddhist text, Buddhist Sanskrit text. Now, friend, the question is, what is the focal point of Buddhism? What is the focal point? The focal point, because Buddha always talks about Dve ime vikkhave deshami. I am talking about two things only. What is these two things? One is there is suffering, dukkhangcha, dukh nirodhangcha. There is only two things, suffering and removal of suffering. So, in the whole world, the whole sentient being, particularly the human being, can be classified into two groups. One those who are in suffering, and another those who have removed their suffering. So, Buddhism, the sole purpose of Buddhism is to understand suffering and to remove the suffering. What is suffering? So, at another place, Buddha discusses, Ye Dhamma hetu pavva, तेसं हेतु तथागतो आह तेसं च यो निरोधो एवं वादी महासमनोति। ये धम्मा हेतु पहवा। All dharmas are conditioned based on condition, and the same thing has been discussed in Sanskrit Buddhist texts. So all dharmas are conditioned, and the Tathagat has explained the condition. When you remove the condition, the problem will be removed, automatically removed. What is this condition? Just understand Tini Kushal Mulani, Alobho Adoso Amoho, Tang Sampayuttang, Vedana Khando, Sanya Khando, Sankhar Khando, Vigyan Khando. Means the Buddha has explained the very delicate aspects of human personality. We have three moral roots. Try to understand the moral root. Alov, absence of greed. Ados, absence of hatred. Amoh, absence of delusion. At the another hand, this is called absence of the man full of greed, the man full of hatred, and the man full of delusion. So, who is in suffering? There are two types of persons in the whole society. One who is with immoral roots, immoral causes, immoral hetu, and another who is happy having moral roots, moral hetu. Buddha says, Ye dhamma hetu pavva. What is this hetu? And in Sanskrit literature, Ye dharma hetu pannang. So, these are the things, hetus, the roots, the moral roots, and the immoral roots. So, the sole purpose of Buddhism is to remove the suffering and to make who is in suffering. Very big question. Who is this suffering? Who is in suffering? The man in suffering. Why man suffers? Because of ditthi, wrong views, drishti. What is right view? Right view is sabbe sankhara anicchati yada panyaya passati tang nibbindati dukkhe yes dhammo sanantano. All conditioned things are impermanent, momentary. See, this is the birthplace of Madhyamik Darshan, Shunyavad. Ye dham. So, another one is anitya, anicchati, anattati, dukkhati. And Buddha says, those who knows that everything is impermanent, everything is non-substantial, there is no Atma-like thing in human personality, anattati, and the world is full of suffering. So, to remove suffering, the focal point is how we can remove suffering from our life. And for removal of suffering, all texts in Pali, all texts in Sanskrit, All texts in Tibetan, all texts in Chinese, Japanese, Korean have been given. So, the philosophy behind Sadharma Pundarik Sutra is to remove darkness from the life. What Sadharma Pundarik Sutra? What is the purpose of Sadharma Pundarik Sutra? The purpose of Sadharma Pundarik Sutra is to remove suffering from our personality. When the suffering is removed, the ignorance is removed, then we are on the path of salvation, nirvana. Another purpose of Sadharma Pundarik Sutra, philosophical purpose of Sadharma Pundarik Sutra is to protect. Like fire protects us from cold, heavy cold. In the same way, Sadharma Pundarik Sutra protects us from the dangers. Okay? Again, this is just like a cloth, beautiful cloth. If you are naked, means you are ashobhaniya, asobhan, bad looking. So, it protects you. Sadharma Pundarik Sutra philosophically protects you from being a bad personality. Okay? The next one is, this is protector of from the negative ideas. It prevents the negative ideas entering into your mind, your personality. And this is also like a doctor. Doctor protects you with his medicine. So, Sadharma Pundarik Sutra protects you from the methods, with the methods. It gives you new methods to purify your consciousness, to purify yourself. So, friends, Sadharma Pundarik Sutra is a protector, and this is the means to give you the covering, the covering from the negative things. And this is the very important text in all Baipulya Sutras. Friends, its name is Pundarik, Sadharma Pundarik. Pundarik means lotus. Why? In Mahayana, lotus is very important because lotus is free from all kind of pollutions, all kind of pollutions. Man is suffering because of the pollutants, polluting factors. And you know, this is because of your wrong ideas. Mind is pollutant because of, mind is pollute because of the vipallas. In Sanskrit, this is called viparyas. When you will go through the text, Mool Madhyamik Karika of Nagarjuna, then there is one chapter on viparyas, vipallas. Vipalas means perceiving the world, understanding the world, viewing the world just opposite to the reality. Just opposite to the reality. The reality is impermanence. You think that the whole world is permanent. Whatever you are doing, wrong or right, will give you permanent result. So, this is the Vipalas. There is Atma, soul. You believe in a permanent soul, but your whole personality is momentary. There is nothing like permanent soul in our life, in our body, in our personality. Because each and every action changes your personality. Each and every action creates impact on your personality. There is nothing like permanent in your life, in your personality. Okay? So, all three kinds of actions, physical action, vocal action, and thinking. Your thought process, your mental action is very dangerous for your personality. When you will go through the meditation, then you will realize how thinking creates wrong impact on personality, right thinking creates positive impact on your personality. So, this is the fact. Another thing is, Nidan is also very important. Nidan means solution. Provides solution for your suffering, that is, the Sadharma Pundarik Sutra provides different kinds of Nidan, solutions. And the same heroes, the same personalities has been repeated here, like Sariputra, Mogalan, and other Mahasravkas. So, how one can move, how one can change their ideas, how one can change their thought process for leaning towards the salvation to nirvana. Because there is difference between the two streams of thought. One stream is called Sanatan tradition. Gita says, Nainang Chindanti Sastrani, Nainang Dahati Pavaka. Means the soul is permanent and your action never creates any impact on the permanent soul. But Buddhism says, Kammasak satta, kam daida, kam yoni, kam patisarna, kam mantvev nayati, sugating tiva, durgating tiva. Your action is your existence. Your action is your result. Your action is your existence. And you have to go in the refuge of your action. You have to purify your action. If your action is purified, you are in good state of life. If your action is not purified, you are in bad state of life. So, friend, in Nidan Parivarta, Buddha provides different kind of solutions to the problems, different kinds of solution for the nirvana. And another thing is Mahayana literature, particularly Sanskrit literature, introduces the concept of bodhisattva. According to Theravada Buddhism, Buddha says that तुम्हें ही किच्चंग आतपंग खतारो तथागता. You have to do karma, action. Tathagat will show you the path. Tathagat will give you the method. But here in Sadharma Pundarik Sutra, they have introduced the concept of bodhisattva, like concept of Maitreya bodhisattva, the concept of different kind of bodhisattva. So here the bodhisattva can give you salvation. This is another thing. And philosophically, the different kind of hells, naraka, has been given in Sadharma Pundarik Sutra, and how to get rid of the different kinds of hells. The second chapter, I have talked with Dr. Bipin Jha. You start with the second chapter, that is Upaya Kausalya Parivarta. Here, Buddha says that the purification of mind is very difficult. Very difficult, and how you will purify your consciousness, complete purification of consciousness. So in Upaya Kausalya Parivar, that is very important, and expediency is very important to understand the things, how you will achieve the complete. I am not using the term nirvana. I am using the term the complete purification of mind, the complete purification of consciousness. So here Buddha says that bala vimokshayete sang vaisaradhasya yadrisha yadrisha buddha dharmasya na sakyang gyatu kenachit. Here it is said, there is difference, philosophical difference between Theravada and Mahayana. Here it is said that no one can understand the depth of personality of Buddha, according to Mahayana. But Theravada says you have to make effort. There are 89 types of consciousness, or 121 types of consciousness. You have to climb one step, from one step to another step to another, and then you can reach up to the state of arhathood, that is nirvana. So, what is the 4 stages? The whole 89 types of consciousness have been divided into 4 bases, that is kamavachar, rupavachar, kamavachar chitta bhumi, the bases, kamavachar chitta bhumi, रूपावचर चित्त भूमि, अरूपावचर चित्त भूमि, and lokuttar chitta bhumi. See the philosophical differences. In Mahayana, it is said that you have to follow the path of bodhisattva, you have To worship the Bodhisattva, you have to show devotion to the Bodhisattva. But in Theravada, it is said that no, you have to make effort by yourself. No third agency, no another person can help you in attainment of complete purification of mind, that is nirvana. Okay, so there is difference between the two in Sadharma Pundarik Sutra and in Theravada literature. See, in another sutra it is pratek bodhi pratyenta bhikshunyo bhikshavastatha deva nagasya yakshasya gandharvaksha smahorahaga. Again, the text prescribes the worship, the devotion, and everything. So, friends, in Sanskrit literature, the different phase of Buddhism has been introduced. Different phase of Buddhism. And this is the Sadharma Pundarik Sutra is the basic text for understanding Mahayana Buddhism. Basic text. Keep always in your mind. And through this text, you can understand the philosophical tenets of Sadharma Pundarik Sutra. One day, one more day I will take in explaining philosophy of Sadharma Pundarik because this is very important, and because of your exposure, I am comparing Theravada concept and Mahayana concept also. Because different stages. Suppose I am talking about Yogachar philosophy. Yogachar philosophy is different thing, friends. In Pali Abhidharma has left at certain point, and then from there Yogachar philosophy picks up. And they pick up the concept and again redefine and re-explain, provides explanation of Buddhist psychology, like Sunyavad, like Madhyamik Darshan. This is also. And thanks to the scholars of Buddhism, they are searching the roots of Mayan philosophy from the Theravada, the Pali literature. In this way, we will explain each and every chapter philosophically. I would request Bipinji to give me one more day for explanation, philosophical explanation chapter wise, and we have many chapters, and ultimately we have 27 chapters divided as Parivarth, Nidan Parivarth, Upaya Kaushalya Parivarth, Aupamya Parivarth, Adhimukti Parivarth, Oshadhi Parivarth, Vyakaran Parivarth. These are very important in Buddhist philosophy. Opam, similes and examples. Bhagavan Buddha explain everything through similes and examples. And the same thing has been given in question of King Milinda, that is Opama Katha. In the same way, Vyakaran Parivarth, the method of explanation, Adhimukti Parivarth, Oshadhi Parivarth, philosophical medicine. So, friends, another day I will fix up with Bipinji and I will explain each and every parivarth, each and every chapter, philosophical explanation of chapters. So now I am inviting your comments, I am inviting your questions, queries. What do you think about Sadharma Pundarik Sutra? And then another text will be covered, that is Sruhal Lake. Sruhal Lake is very important text because you know very well Buddhism is based on two things. This is psychoethical philosophy. So Arya Nagarjuna gives suggestion to the king Yajna Sri Satkarni, Satvahan king, and he expresses, Arya Nagarjuna expresses his view on personality, what should be the personality of a king, what should be a personality of a minister, those who are policy makers. So this text is also very important. With the help of Bipinji, first of all, Sadharma Pundarik Sutra, the philosophical explanations will be completed, and then Sruhal Lake will be started. And then some exposures from Mool Madhyamik Karika and Vigyapti Matrata Siddhi will also be given. So now you can express, now you can give your comments and questions, please. Anybody?
You can turn on your mic.
May I ask, sir?
Yes, madam.
May I ask a question, sir?
Yes, first you introduce yourself and then you can put your question.
Okay. Namaskar, sir. My name is Varsha-Rani, and I have just finished my MPhil from Department of Buddhist Studies, Delhi University. But by profession, I'm actually a journalist, and I'm working on India's cultural diffusion in Southeast Asia, and especially the role of Indianization in Southeast Asia and the role of Buddhism in the evolution of the Buddhist state of Cambodia. That is my basic topic, my field in which I'm working. So most of my primary sources.
Varsaji, who was your supervisor in the department?
I finished my MPhil under Dr. KTS Rao, sir.
Very good.
Yes.
He is my guru.
Achha. So nice to hear that, sir. I am now wanting to pursue a PhD course. Let's see from where. So most of my primary sources in Southeast Asia, as you are fully aware, are in Khmer and in Sanskrit. So that is one of the reasons why I joined this course. And before this, I'm also completing a course from the Buddhist School of Languages in Berkeley. So I'm been given a full scholarship to do a refresher course in Sanskrit. So I'm interested, to translate Sanskrit Buddhist texts into English and look at the primary sources. I have one question in general. I want to clarify a doubt, sir. When we look at translations of texts, so supposing we are talking about Sadharma Pundika Sutriya, so supposing we have a Sanskrit version and supposing we have a Pali version. So how much interpolation is there and how much is lost in translation? So supposing we are looking at Sanskrit texts, how much are we losing out if we don't know Pali and if we are not looking at the Pali text? Or supposing we are only looking at the Pali text, then how much are we losing out?
Varsaji, very nice to meet you.
Yes, sir.
And unfortunately, I could not meet you in the department. I was also part of the Department of Buddhist Studies. And recently I went there for taking Viva, PhD Viva in the department. See, when there is journey from Pali to Sanskrit, there is another journey from Sanskrit to Tibetan, another journey from Sanskrit to Chinese, Chinese to Korean, Korean to Japanese. But when the things travels from one point of time to the another point of time, certain spatio-temporal things are added. So don't think that there is certain interpolations, but some local ideas, but some influence of space and time is there, and it takes new shape. Understand? So, and one thing, as you have joined Berkeley, the Institute of Buddhist Languages or whatever it is, if you want to learn Buddhism, you should know four languages: Pali, Sanskrit, Tibetan, and Chinese. But it's very big task. At least you should know Pali, Tibetan, or Pali. Sanskrit is very compulsory, very essential, because the development from Pali to Sanskrit is very interesting, very deep and very profound. So these are the important things. And as far as interpolations are concerned, this is because of space and time. Okay? When you will compare from one language, the literatures of one language with the literatures of another language, then you will see the difference clearly. Okay, Varsaji?
Ji, sir. Ji, ji. So one additional question added to this only, sir. Then supposing we are looking at, as you very rightly said, that we should know four languages at least to understand the entire gamut of Buddhist literature. So supposing we look at the same text in four languages. So which, according to you, will be the most authentic? Supposing we are looking at Sadhana Pundika Sutra in Pali, in Buddhism, in Sanskrit.
Actually, there is certain text in Sarvastivād. Suppose that is Dignikaya in Pali, Dirghagam in Sanskrit. Understand? So Madhyamagam in Sanskrit, Madhyam Nikaya in Pali. So in this way, you have to search the list of literature in different sects, and then you will be able to understand and able to learn.
Yes.
Okay? So first of all, you go through the history of literatures, the history of Pali literature in Hindi and English, the history of Buddhist Sanskrit literature, and history of development of Tibetan literature. In this way, you will get a clear picture of literatures, how you have to move. And then, if you have some queries, some questions, you can contact me. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Arvind Lojanaji, you are asking some questions.
Yeah. So, namaskar, sir. I'm Arvind Lochan and I'm based in Singapore. In general, corporate servant working in a multinational company here, but have a deep interest in, philosophy, Indology, more into comparing Vedantic tradition with, different types of texts. And my question was, again, this came up when you were talking, that when you were explaining the Sadharma Pundarik Sutra, it appears it is very object driven, like suffering or, Swabhava type of, area, where when we read Nagarjuna's, nihilism theories, it is very much going towards like a nothingness, completely emptiness, emptiness in the mean, like everything is, leaning towards the same way of Vedantic tradition, like closing to oneness. So how you see both are compared? One is talking about suffering as a root, other one is talking more around conjoining together, with the one. Again, like,
Actually,
yeah.
actually, in India, we have the different kind of evolution process, because Indian religions are not from blue moon. It has not been dropped from any heavenly abode. It is a process of evolution. Some philosophers have explained the suffering, impurity in our personality, and because of impurity, suffering is there. Some scholars believe in oneness. Okay? If you have idea of Hindi, then emptiness and the concept of Brahma has been well explained by Tulsidas. पग बिनु चलै सुनै बिनु काना, कर्म करै बहु भांति निधाना, आनन रहित सकल रस भोगी, बिन जिह्वा बक्ताबर जोगी. See, he has assimilated many schools of philosophy in one verse, one chaupai. So this is the beauty of India. Many things have been explained. The Atma and Brahma, the Jeev and Brahma. Here, Buddha says, no, be practical. The 100% human being is suffering, under suffering. Yes, please. So you have to remove the suffering first. And suffering is what? Because of misconceptions, because of misunderstanding. So these are the beauties in Jain philosophy also. So we cannot deny anybody. This is the beauty of Indian thought system, Indian knowledge system. And we have to understand compartmentalized form, in compartmentalized form, just like chessboard. There is abundance of thought. When you will go through the Shraman tradition, the 62 philosophers, the Buddha has explained in Dignikaya, the 6 heretical big thinkers, the Buddha has explained in Dignikaya. So you will see abundance of thought process are going on the Indian soil. And this is because of evolution, because of thought process, evolution of thought process. So this is the thing. When you will see in totality, ultimately they all talk about the moksha, they all talk about nirvana, they all talk about keval, means freedom from suffering, freedom from the pollutants of mind. This is the thing. Okay, Arvindji?
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr.
Anybody?
Hello, sir. I'm Vigzint from Department of Buddhist Studies, Delhi University. So I have two basic questions. So first, as you mentioned, that the different schools are the development of different schools in Buddhism are dependent on previous schools like Theravadas, right? So but there are Taranatha and Boston, different historian, as part of them, there are different kind of school, turning wheel of Dharma was taken place. So the for example, the school of Mahayana, it's or the school of Theravada. So it's based on the different kind of capabilities of the person. The teaching was based on was given based on the capability of different people. So what do you say on this? And another question is there are different texts, like for example, the Saddharma Pundarika now. So even like I was studying on Om Mani Padme Hum, the mantra, which is very popular. So when I was studying on that, some of the Western scholars, so as part of them, like those Saddharma Pundarika, and like later the sutra, that especially Sanskrit tradition, that available in Buddhism now. So these are mostly there are huge, like strong influence of non-Buddhist schools, like now Hinduism, like there's an influence on that. So what do you say on this this, sir? This is my question.
One question is, you are talking about the development of different schools of Buddhist philosophy and the kind of temperament of the people concerned. Yathanulom sasanam. This is very important tool how Buddha explained different sutras. So because of the temperament, the mental capacity of the people, it's very true. But when Buddhist philosophers they have encountered with the another scholars, then they have to explain the things in a scholarly way. Understand? So they explained in their own way to convince the scholarly people. Okay? But the basis of the scholarly production, the scholarly intellectual property was the basic tenets of the basic elements of Buddhism, all based on the basic elements of Buddhism. Nobody has denied Pratitya Samutpad, nobody has denied Four Noble Truth, nobody has denied Eightfold Path, but three characteristics, the Lakhan of the world, but they have explained in different scholarly way to convince the scholarly people. Okay? This was because of the demand of time. The second thing, you said the many things have been incorporated in Buddhism because of from non-Buddhist sects, isn't it, Rigjen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ah.
So as per to the Western scholars, some of the Western scholars that I have read.
Actually, see, both the religions were staying in the same geographical area and adopting ideas from each other is very common thing, and this is very psychological thing. This is not uncommon. If you are talking like Vipassana meditation, it has been explained by the Buddha, but in 21st century, Vipassana meditation is adopted, incorporated by Christians, incorporated by Sanatanis, Hindus, incorporated by Muslims in Iran. It doesn't mean this is the development of 21st century. So it happens. The good thing, the attractive ideas are always incorporated by the people. This is not a strange thing. Understand? Many things will be incorporated by many people. Suppose because of the utility, because of its potential utility, the benefit providing factor. So many things, many factors, many dimensions are there to understand the incorporation of different things in between intra-religion and inter-religion. Okay? So now friends, this is already 6 o'clock. So I will request Dr. Bipin Kumar Jhaji. He is the boss. So one day I would like to meet you again because I have to discuss each and every Parivarth chapter of Sadharma Pundarik Sutra. Why a particular chapter has been given there. Okay?
If you are saying for tomorrow, that will be better. Otherwise, next week, whenever
Next
you
week. Next week.
okay, that will be better.
Okay.
So tomorrow I will continue the lecture what we have studied yesterday. Okay. And the next day, I mean to say next Tuesday, sir will engage the class again.
Next Tuesday I will engage your class. Okay?
Thank you, sir. And
Okay.
we are closing the session for today. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you.